my thesis for this session is that to be merciful is to provide undeserved affordances for others to grow, especially when those affordances come despite deserved consequences or punishments. Okay? To provide undeserved affordances for others to grow, especially when those affordances come despite deserved consequences or punishments. Now, in Les Mis is a really good example of this, because it's funny, because Paula and I were talking about this session. We're talking about blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. We're having conversations about this, and we like to do this as the Sundays approach. We'll talk about the content that's coming out. And when we're watching the play, as this scene came up, we both looked at each other and we're like, merciful, this is it. This is it. And so it's such a good scene. Now, this is from the movie. But in the movie with Hugh Jackman, Jean Valjean is having a rough go of it, and he doesn't have anywhere to stay, and he's a paroled prisoner. Nobody wants anything to do with him, but this church takes him in. And despite this act of compassion, he steals a bunch of silver from the church and tries to run off with it so that he can go be a fugitive and have a little bit of money after selling this silver. Well, of course, the law enforcement catches him like right away, and they're going to, put him in jail. But as law enforcement officers are catching him, this priest who he just robbed, Jean Valjean just robbed this priest. The priest comes out with these 2 silver candlesticks, and he's like, you forgot these. Take these too. And made it look like, to the law enforcement officers, like he had given him all this silver to help him. And then after the law enforcement officers see that, okay, I guess he was legitimately given this silver. We know he wasn't. We know he tried to steal it. But this priest is showing mercy and showing compassion, even though he has no reason to do so. And one of the lines in there is he says, I hope you take this as an opportunity to become an honest man. So it's paving the way for an affordance for his transformation to become a good man, even though there's no reason for him to do so. He moves forward with faith in providing this affordance to him. So he comes out and says, take them. So to be merciful is to, and what happens in the, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Les Mis, the character, Jean Valjean, goes on to make something of himself, make something where he has the capacity to have compassion on people and to rescue people and to save people. And he breaks his parole and starts living a different identity. But other than that, he's a great person. And the main guy that's chasing him at the end can't decide whether he's a devil or a hero or an angel. He can't decide whether he's good or bad. Because, he broke his parole, but he winds up saving the law enforcement officer's life and letting him go when he could have killed him. So this is a great example of showing mercy. And you might think, well, somebody steals silver from a church building. What should you do? Well, this is what this priest opted to do this in the story. And that's the thing is, that's a decision you got to make. And you have to decide what people are going to do with what you offer to them.